Hi, I'm Avery.
And I'm Maggie. Welcome back to the Hyde Park Earth Show.
What's happening in today's show?
In today's show, we will be talking about urban forests and the importance of trees. We will also be interviewing a person from the City of Toronto about Waste Wizard and why it's so important to manage our waste.
Wow, let's get started. Okay, welcome back.
We need a hero against deforestation, and he is the only one who signed up because, and I quote, he thought the cape was cool. He is Super Tree.
Now a story from my favorite waste app.
Team Canada got 15 points.
And Team Papaya got 16. I'm pretty bad at sorting waste, so it's very important to have a tool like this. Everyone should check it out.
Yeah, those grade ones can really sort their waste.
Naya and Julian had the chance to talk to a person from the City of Toronto about the Waste Wizard app.
Hi, I'm Naya.
And I'm Julian. You have heard of Waste Wizard, right? You probably heard about it in our recent episodes, or you might have already been using it at home.
We had the chance to meet with the City of Toronto Waste Division to learn more about how Waste Wizard works.
Shusia Balam, CAT for short. I work for the City of Toronto Solid Waste Management Services Division. Be a tree, it's a hard question. Go with oak because oaks are very strong and resilient, and we're just chosen as the official tree of the City of Toronto.
Why does a big city like Toronto need Waste Wizard?
Yeah, why is it important?
Well, the Waste Wizard tool is a really important tool for us in that it really assists people in sorting their waste correctly. There's really like an infinite number of types of waste out there. It's probably never been more complicated. There's really so many different types of packaging. So it really helps to have this sort of online tool that we can update as we need to.
So Kat, tell us how Waste Wizard works.
Yeah, how does a big database like Waste Wizard work?
That information in a quick and easy format. Just type in the item and then, they'll see probably similar types of items. They'll choose which ones specifically they're looking for. It's a work in progress. It's something that we continually add to or make changes if we need to. The region of Peel, they had this sort of tool already, this kind of database. They shared their database with us. And so we could look at it and we could make changes because not all the sorting rules are exactly the same in all cities needed. And then over the years, we've just been adding to it.
So Kat, how can you tell if Waste Wizard is successful?
Yeah, how do you know if people are using it? Is all the waste being sorted properly?
Data and stats about visitors to the website, how many people are visiting, per day or per month. So we get a list of items that they search for and get results for. So things we have in the database, and then we get a list of items they search for and we don't have in the database. So then we can look at that and we can see, oh, a lot of people are searching for this item. not in there, we should probably add it in there. It's a mobile app, and so we also get data there in terms of how many users are using it, and stats related to the Waste Wizard as well.
Make sure you use Waste Wizard this summer.
Yeah, know before you throw.
Let's move on now. It's time for the documentary about a tree in the schoolyard.
The title, The Falling of the Silver Maple by Kira and Joe.
On September 22nd, 2021. Our big, beautiful tree fell. Our schoolyard will never be the same without it. Watch the full documentary on the High Park Earth Show YouTube channel.
Thank you, Kira and Joe. I don't ever think I'll forget the day the silver maple came down.
That tree was so special. Thank you, Kira and Joe, for making that.
That tree will be very missed. Fun fact, did you know the first ever tree to exist was between 350 to 450 million years ago?
That's so cool. On the topic of trees, now we're going to learn about types of trees with Jackson and Max.
Thank you, Avery and Maggie. My name is Max.
And my name is Jackson. We are here today to talk about different types of trees in our schoolyard and why they are important to the urban forests.
Trees are really important.
Yeah, they do all kinds of things.
Yes, they provide shade, clean the air, and give habitats to a variety of animals.
Don't forget, trees also create oxygen.
Let's go out and see what other people think of trees.
What is Toronto's official tree?
The maple leaf tree.
I think it's the maple tree.
What is carbon scrubbing?
It is like where the air is filled with things that are bad for trees and nature.
What do you know about trees?
I know that they grow leaves.
And if you could be a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
An oak tree. A silver maple tree. A cherry blossom tree.
Those are some great answers.
Here are ours. What does carbon scrubbing mean, Max?
Carbon scrubbing is what plants do to help clean the air. They take in CO2 and scrub the carbon out of the CO2. Then they leave us the clean O2. What is the official tree of Toronto, Jackson?
Toronto's official tree is the oak tree. But one more. What do you know about trees, Max?
I know that trees are habitats for animals that live in urban forests and other types of forests.
Here is our interview with Beatrice Gomez, a worker at Oakville Green.
So my name is Beatrice Gomez and I work for Oakville Green. And if I could be a tree, I would be a whipping willow.
What does Oakville Green do for the urban forests?
Oakville Green is a non-for-profit, so we work mostly with volunteers, and we are always trying to ensure that the green spaces in Oakville are improved. We come up with a plan or an idea for that site, and then based on that, then we take actions to try to restore the natural area. Where we remove the invasive species, we can actually plant new native species to make sure that we are bringing those species that are supposed to be here in the long term into the sites. And we always do it with volunteers to make sure that people in the community are aware of what's happening and they are part of the solution as well.
Why is an urban forest important?
Urban forests are important because they are part of the ecosystem. So we tend to think that ecosystems are outside of cities, but cities are an important part of natural ecosystems. They do ecological jobs for us. So basically they help us to clean the air, they help us to reduce runoff, they help to absorb the water that falls from the rain. They provide habitat for other animals that live here. There's a lot of plants that live there, so they have a lot of value.
What are some major threats to urban forests?
The major threats to urban forests are obviously construction. So building, our cities are growing, and we are getting more and more dense cities. And then the second one would be invasive species, because there's a lot of species that have been, or plants and animals that have been introduced by people, that they're a threat to the organisms and plants and animals that used to live here before. Right?
Can you explain the psychological benefits of an urban forest?
So there have been a lot of studies that prove that people need green spaces in order to feel calm and happy. It helps you to concentrate. There are studies that show like how many minutes a day, if you are in a forest, can reduce like anxiety and depression and things like that.
What can we do to keep the urban forests in Toronto growing?
What we can do is stop littering, participate in organizations that are around you that do work like the one Oakville Green does. So remove invasive species, plant native species, do not dump yard waste into into the woodlots, do not feed wildlife.
Yeah, trees are so important to our planet.
Yeah, they are. Now it's time for
Some greenwashing facts.
with 218.
Hello, my name is Julian, and today I'm going to be talking about some fun facts about the environment. Let's get straight into our first fact. About 40% of store-bought bottled water is just tap water, and one bottle actually takes 7 liters of water to make, so using a reusable bottle saves a lot of water. Have you heard of wish cycling? Wish cycling is when you throw something that is not recyclable in the recycling. This is bad because when there is a non-recyclable item in the recycling, it takes a lot of time and money to remove it. On the note of recycling a glass bottle can power an average light bulb for up to 4 hours. That means that if you were to recycle every water bottle produced in 1 year, you would be able to power one light bulb for 315 million years, or 315 million light bulbs for 1 year each. You know that it is actually better to wash your dishes with a dishwasher rather than by hand, and it's not by a small margin. If you're taking about 144 dishes, which is the average amount of dishes a dishwasher holds, it is around 5.9 times more efficient than washing by hand. Heard of Tesla? The great car that has zero emissions, but this car, along with a lot of other electric cars, actually takes multiple years to become carbon neutral. For example, with Tesla, it takes 7 years for the car to become carbon neutral. A crazy thing about trees is that they save people $2.1 billion on cooling and heating. That's enough money to buy around 1,674 houses in Toronto, or 773 square kilometers of land. That's 110 square kilometers bigger than Toronto. Greenhouse gases actually have a benefit to us and the environment. Greenhouse gases have some bad side effects, but the main one is that it contributes to climate change. The way it contributes to climate change is also the reason why it is helping the environment. How? Because it is trapping heat, which is allowing humans, animals, and plants to survive. If there was none of the extra trapped heat, it would be too cold for humans and a lot of plants and animals to live.
I always love to learn about facts.
Me too.
Well, that's the end of the Hyde Park Earth Show.
Sadly, that's the last episode.
Our class had so much fun creating and making these episodes.
See you next time on the